I'm stoked. I think we're all in the same boat. We're all really excited. You know, we never really took much time off. It was like we've stayed ready, so we don't have to get ready. And I think that we're all ready for the season to start and ready to get going. I mean, we've been doing a lot of good work. You know, in pads now as of yesterday, and then of course before that in helmets and doing team stuff and doing really competitive things. And we have a really competitive team, and we're just chomping at the bit, ready to get going.
How was your spring? Like what were you back in Tampa, or like what did you do?
I was. So I went home. We had winter workouts, and then I went home for spring break, and then that's when they told us to stay home. So I was in Tampa with my brother Rex, and we worked out every day, and I think I had a really productive spring as far as the weight room went. I really made a lot of gains, and I feel like come camp and when we really start to get going, it's gonna show, and I feel like it has already.
I gotta ask you, you have a pretty famous neighbor, do you not?
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Did you have you met the neighbors? What was that like?
Yeah, I've talked to Tom from across our docks. He just got a new boat, so me and my dad were out there with our boat, and just talking about boats. So that was really cool.
Surreal at all? Like, I mean,
oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, that's the greatest quarterback of all time. Just talking about Tampa Bay, nuts.
Did you guys take over a housewarming gift?
Yeah, I think my parents sent him a bottle of wine or something. I don't know.
There you go. All right. Does that make you a Bucks fan now, or was that always the case?
I've always been a Bucks fan, because I'm from Tampa. But now I'm really out there now.
Gotcha. And then just one more, if I could. I'm kind of just gathering from the off season, but it seems like instead of left and right DTs, you guys are doing maybe 1 and 3 techniques this year. Like, can you maybe talk about what your place is there, and who you're taking reps behind or with? I guess.
Well, I can play both.
Okay.
I play 1 and 3, and so I kind of rotate between the two, and I'm running with the 2s right now. At the 3 and at the 2i on occasion. It's a really competitive room though. We got a lot of really good guys, and so there's a pretty good rotation going, and we're pretty deep, and I'm excited to see what we're going to do this year.
Hey, Josh, how's it going, man?
Going great.
Sweet. So real quick, obviously weird offseason, nothing like we've had before. Where do you think is, the biggest area of growth that you've had heading into this season?
I think just physically, my body, I've gotten a lot stronger. And so I'm excited to really get in the swing of things with putting pads on and really, really putting that body of work to work.
If anybody has a question, just use the raise hand feature, and I will ask you to unmute, and then you can ask your question. Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, sure. So other than yourself, obviously, who are some guys maybe some young guys, like a rising star you're excited for on the defensive line this year?
Jumping off the top of my head, Hakeem Beamon has been doing some great things. He's super fast, great hands, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do this year.
Go ahead, Nate.
Who is behind you then at the 3 when you do take reps there?
Right now, it's me and Hakeem kind of rotate
okay.
right there, and like when I go to play 2i, he'll play 3, and then I'll play 3 sometimes with Fred, or he'll play 3 sometimes with Fred. So there's kind of like a rotation thing going on right there.
Is that Can you just kind of describe the competitive atmosphere? I mean, what goes into that? How you guys all get along with each other in that type of an environment?
I mean, we all know what's at stake, so we're all putting our best effort out there, and but we're all friends, and we're all trying to make each other better. So I think we all understand that, and we're all just working to be the best D line that we could possibly be.
So I think yesterday was the first day you guys could have helmets and shoulder pads on. Do you know what that progression is going to be like when and if you guys are able to actually start hitting, and what kind of difference that's going to make for you in practice?
Well, I mean, we put shoulder pads on. I mean, all bets are off. We start hitting. So it's been real different because we've been in spiders and helmets for the most part up until now, and we still got a lot of really good work, even if it wasn't completely full on go. But now as soon as we put shoulder pads on, it's go time. We were doing run fits yesterday. It was a lot of fun. So.
Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, what's PJ's influence in that room, and can you just kind of describe what kind of a person he is, maybe first, and then as a player?
PJ is the man. We came in together. We work out together. Me and PJ. I got nothing but good things to say about him. He's a hell of a worker. Works really hard. Before practice, after practice. Watching film. The guy does it all. As a player, he's just a grinder. Hard nose, student of the game, loves football, and he's a good leader. I appreciate him a lot.
Go ahead, Will.
Who's a guy on the offensive line that you love getting work against? Is there a few?
Oh, for sure. Someone who's really just been improving, and is really someone I like going against is Des Holmes. He's moved to guard, and he's got a hell of a strike, like real strong guy. So it's good to get work against him. And then of course CJ Thorpe, really good player. He's stout, and it's good to get work against him. And those are two guys that I think of off the top of my head.
Go ahead, Nate.
I'll ask you the same thing for PJ about Antonio. What does he bring to the room?
Antonio's got a ton of experience. He's been around for a long time. He was here in like 2015, or I don't even know, but he's an old head. He's a fifth year, so he's got a lot of wisdom that he can impart on us, and he's a good player too. He's really stout. He holds his gap, and he moves really well for a guy who's 320 pounds. So.
Go ahead, Will.
One more for me. What if obviously Kirk Soraka, new offensive coordinator? What have you, if you have at all gotten any experience against the offense? Have you noticed any big differences with his kind of offensive scheme, or how he kind of might work with the offense overall?
Oh,
I think he might be muted.
Sorry, Judge, you got muted there. There you go.
I don't know how that happened.
But no worries.
I'm not an offensive player, but I think that Coach Soraka is doing a lot of really cool things with like stretch that we haven't really seen before, and so that brings like a whole new dynamic to practice and to going against the O-line, and I really have enjoyed that.
Go ahead, Nate.
Judge, I'm kind of asking this to everybody, but with the NCAA eligibility changes for this year, do you feel like that impacts you? Does that change, at all how you see your career kind of playing out at the college level?
I mean, if they're willing to give me a sixth year, I wouldn't mind taking it. Working on another degree or something. I wouldn't mind that at all. It's really cool. I think that the NCAA handled that right. With the craziness that's going on around the country, and we'll see what happens.
Is it too early, I guess, to have those conversations with Coach Franklin and John and those guys? Or
yeah, I feel like it's like jumping the gun a little bit, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Cool.
Go ahead, Dustin.
Hey, Judge, I'm just getting here, so I apologize if I am repetitive to anybody. I just wonder if you could kind of assess just the overall depth and talent. You guys are lining up a lot of really talented bodies at defensive tackle, and I just wonder if you could kind of break down where this room is when it comes to that talent level and how it helps you guys along.
I'd say, we are really deep at D tackle. We got a lot of guys chomping at the bit to get playing time, and it really brings like this just competitive nature to the room, and I really enjoy it. We're all getting a lot better, and I'm excited for this camp. We've kind of started, putting on pads yesterday, and that was really cool, and I'm just excited to see how far we can get and what we're going to do this year.
Go ahead, Nate.
Can you talk about or describe what it's been like working with Coach Scott? Now that you're finally in person with him.
I'll say Coach Scott is a hell of a coach. He knows he's got a lot of wisdom. He's coached at a lot of places, and he's just really hands-on, and I feel like he really knows what he's talking about, and he's a really easy guy to follow.
Go ahead, Dustin.
Judge, what are the personalities like in the defensive tackle room? Because I don't think a lot of people really associate you big guys with having big personalities, but you seem to. Fred does. Antonio does. How does all that kind of go together?
I mean, we're all different, but I think it works really well. We all get along. PJ too. He's definitely got a personality, and I don't know. It just works for some reason. We're all like real close. More so than other positions, I think. And I don't know. I think we all just kind of have like a similar mindset, even though we're all different. So it just kind of it meshes real well together.
Go ahead, Nate.
Just to piggyback on John Scott, can you contrast him with Spence and maybe similarities and things that they're different with?
Well, they're both great coaches. Similarities and differences, I don't know. I don't know if I can really go into that. They're both good coaches, and they're a little different, like personality wise, but
yeah.
They both want what's best for us, and that's what matters.
Go ahead, Dustin.
Judge, I asked Fred this too, but you guys have a lot of big, powerful guys on the inside. Then I think you have maybe one of the fastest defensive end combinations in the country on the outside. How does that speed kind of change how opponents block you, and how does that maybe help you guys out when you have that amount of speed on the outside?
Well, with guys like Jason and Shaka, they're screaming off the edge, so I feel like it helps us a lot because they're kind of spreading out. They're getting the tackles out of there. And so there's a lot more, 2v3 and then 1v1 situations for us on the inside, which is great. We just have to capitalize and push the pocket, because they're coming off the edge so fast. We got to, close it off so the quarterback's got nowhere to go. And when that comes together, it's going to be deadly.
Go ahead, Nate.
Obviously, most of those sack numbers are going to come from the ends, but I'm just wondering, for a whole defensive line, how much pride you guys take in the consistency that you've shown with sack numbers over the last few years.
Oh, absolutely. Coach Spence did a great job. But there's going to be no drop off. With a new coach, it's the same kind of culture. We're going for that right now, and I think that we're doing really well as far as rushing the passer. I think we've done a lot of really good work, and we're ready to get going. And we're super prideful about that.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, Judge. Thanks for doing this. Antonio Shelton has been vocal on social media about his willingness to wear the number 0. Obviously, it's looking like it's going to go to a special teams player. But would you campaign for Antonio to wear number 0 this fall?
I don't really know. It seems like you said, they're really pushing for a special teams guy. I like 55 on Antonio, man. It makes him look huge. So, sure, I'd totally try to help him out if that's what he wanted. But I think that if he went to a special teams guy, that'd be great too.
And if I could follow up, what kind of locker room presence is Antonio? And, he's really vocal on social media as well. What kind of leader is he in the locker room?
Well, he's a vocal guy. He's vocal on social media. He's vocal in person. he's a guy with a ton of experience, like he's seen a lot of stuff, so he kind of has thoughts on everything. So it's always good to hear his opinion, and there's some weight to it because he's seen so much.
Go ahead, Kenny.
Hey, Judge. I know you're a Tampa guy. You guys have had a nice couple of weeks with the Stanley Cup, and then winning the first the round for the Rays. How excited are you for that? And does it kind of get you ready for this upcoming season with a lot of high hopes for Penn State football as well?
Sure. I mean, Tampa's killing it right now. They got Tom Brady and Gronk too, which is nice. A change of pace for me because when I was growing up, I don't know, it was kind of like up and down with the Tampa sports teams, but it's looking really good, and I'm really proud of it. And then obviously, of course, Penn State trumps all that. So for me, yeah. Of course I'm excited for this season, and I'm ready to bring some of that Tampa juice up here.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Judge, is there a sense of urgency in obviously like the preseason format is so dramatically different this year than other years. Does that change, I guess, you guys' kind of perspective on how to approach these next few weeks and being in the best shape possible for the start of the season?
I definitely think that there is, but I will say that we've done a good job of working out and doing football things before we even started camp. Before yesterday, we had been in helmets and spiders, which are like those like baby pads. We had been in those for like 5 or 6 weeks before this, so we really did get a lot of work and a lot of mental work. Now it's just we got to put it all together and really physically get used to hitting again because we haven't put on pads since the bowl game. So I think that we're all there is a little bit of a sense of urgency in that we need to get back to like the physical aspects. But I think, after 2 weeks, 3 weeks of that, I mean, we're going to be ready. We're going to be firing all cylinders.
Go ahead, Greg.
Hey, Judge, how you doing?
Doing great.
Who do you like as breakout guys along the defensive line? I mean, are there any younger guys? I mean, obviously you're a guy who many are picking in that conversation, but besides yourself, who do you see as breakout guys on the defensive line? And then what maybe offensive linemen have impressed you so far?
I'll say Hakeem Beamon is a guy who's doing really well right now. Super fast guy. I'm really excited to see what he's going to do this year. And then Devon Ellies, strong guy. Excited about him too. Across the O-line, I mean, there's just dramatic improvement, at all positions, honestly. But one guy who's really stuck out is Des Holmes. He's strong as an ox, at guard, and he's got an amazing strike. So excited to see him, and I really do think the O-line has improved a whole lot, though, as a whole. So it's gonna be good.
Go ahead, Andrew.
And I apologize if you already answered this, but what are some things that you've been working on personally over the past few months to prepare for this year?
The biggest thing is working out, getting stronger, getting faster, working on my get off, and then hands. Hands is something that I'm constantly in the process of working on. So it's going to be exciting. I put in a lot of good work, and I think that we've all put in a lot of really good work, and it'll be good.
Go ahead, Greg.
One of your teammates, Judge, mentions the Lion Pride drill as kind of the moment that he felt like football was back and camp was back and the season was actually really on the horizon. Did you get to take part in that yesterday? And then what was that moment for you where it really felt like, okay, things are actually back. This is camp. This is getting ready for a regular season.
Well, I wasn't actually a part of the Lions Pride drill, but I was, on the outside helping out the younger guys who were in there, giving them technique tips. But definitely, that's surreal. Last time we did that was I don't know, the bowl game, but it just feels like, God, Penn State football's back for sure. We had pads on, we were hitting, we were doing pods. I really, just felt great yesterday. Just thinking man, this is it. We're going. It's go time.
Go ahead, Nate.
Judge, I know it's super early, but can you give maybe scouting reports for some of the guys that got here in January, Cole and Fatorma, and then Keziah this summer?
Yeah, those guys have really, really, embraced this isn't high school football anymore. This is college. It's a whole different mindset. There's a whole different speed. There's a whole different physicality. And I think they're all doing great. They're all really embracing the grind and working really hard and really trying to take learning from the coaches. And I think they're all doing great. I think they're all, excited to be here and excited to work.
Go ahead, Nate.
Is there a difference that even from when you got to Penn State to how you see these guys coming in physically from high school, making that jump?
I think that it's pretty much the same. There's very few guys that can come in off the bat and just be ready to go physically. PJ was like that my year. He was just a big old guy, 300 pounds straight out of high school. And I don't know. It's kind of like it's a culture shock for everybody. It's really it is what it is. But these freshmen, they're definitely hard workers, and they're definitely strong kids, and they're definitely big kids. So it'll do. I mean, we'll see. We'll see as camp goes along.
Go ahead, Ken.
Hey, Judge. This has obviously been a weird summer, whole year, all that. You are all academic Big Ten. You mentioned maybe down the road taking another degree. I guess, how weird is it, or how hard is it being on a college campus under these circumstances? I mean, you probably don't want to have, lots of interaction with sort of the general campus community, but I mean, what's been sort of the weirdest or hardest part about that part for you?
I will say that I'm not in any on-campus classes. I'm on all online classes, and it is not easy. I came to college to go to college. I didn't come to college to take online school, but it's just different. It's real different than when I was a freshman. I will say that, now that we're starting like a camp mentality right now. It's during the school year, which is definitely different than it usually is, because usually it's over the summer and you're either in one class or no classes. So it's a lot harder, but, I think we're all just excited to play and school, you got to take care of school in order to play. So we're all kind of attacking it as like a challenge. And I think that it's going pretty well for the most part.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Coach Pry and a lot of other guys on the defensive line have attested to Sean Spencer's, lasting legacy, even after he moved on to the NFL. What kind of impact has he had on your game in particular?
I'll say that Coach Spence has always got the juice. He's always coming with energy, and I think that he always had a great approach to the day. And I strive to have that as well. Come out and have juice and be ready to go, because I don't know, if you're juiceless, you're useless.